Here at 6 o'clock, homicide investigation. Albany police have on their hands tonight after a deadly shooting in the city, which is now the second shooting to happen in this particular part of the city just this week. It happened around 9 o'clock this morning at the corner of Grand and Elm Streets. And that's where our Pat Bailey is joining us live from tonight. He has more on what went down today and where police are now in their investigation. Pat?
Well, Dory, Albany police are still being tight-lipped about this situation, not releasing the victim's name. However, just a short time ago, before we went on the air at 5 o'clock, I talked to some family members and friends of the victim who told me it was their friend, 37-year-old Sylvester Scott, who was killed in the streets of Albany here this morning. In fact, they're just over my shoulder now. They've been here for the past hour or so. You can see a lot of candles. We showed you at 5 o'clock they started putting candles up, and now there's several more candles, a couple of dozen, around this Elm Street apartment right here where Mr. Scott was killed this morning. As you mentioned, this is the second shooting on this street in 2 days. Neighbors tell us that they are concerned about that and the fact that this is now the city of Albany's 8th homicide this year.
Crime scene tape surrounded much of Grand Street Monday morning. Police set a perimeter around an apartment building that sat on the corner of Grand and Elm Streets. At least 7 evidence markers were propped up in the road near what looked to be bullet shells. They sat in the same street where police say the latest shooting victim was found.
Yeah, obviously, it's still a very active and ongoing investigation. With any incident, our officers canvass the area. They're knocking on doors and they're trying to seek information. If anybody saw anything, did you hear anything?
The streets were filled with onlookers Monday morning as police investigated. One woman told me she heard several gunshots around 8:30. She said they woke her out of a sound sleep. Another man said this shooting was the second one on the same city block in just 2 days.
Obviously, it's concerning, but again, it all comes down to the community to help us out. And if they see something, say something, any suspicious activity or persons, they should always call the police.
But that is not always the case. Albany police say they always seek the help of the public, but in many cases, they don't get much cooperation from neighbors or witnesses.
We can't do this job alone. We always are looking for the community to help us out. And any information that they have, whether it's a shooting, a burglary, a robbery, whatever the case may be, that information is very helpful to us.
Albany police say that they don't have any suspects at this time, but of course they're looking for the public's help. As you heard, they're still driving around the neighborhood here tonight. They're looking for any kind of help from neighbors or witnesses who may have saw or heard something here this morning. In the meantime, an anti-violence advocacy group in the city of Albany, SNUG, plans on getting the message out the next couple of days in the streets of Albany to try to keep the city streets safe. They will hold a vigil and an awareness on Wednesday night, on Christmas night, and another one on Thursday. Live in Albany tonight, Pat Bailey, CBS 6 News.